Good morning. You find me at the Rural Pastimes show, which is at Horns Cross, and it's rather near my house. Well, 5 mile walk actually. And by the looks of things, there's a Massey Harris in very grungy condition to start my day's videoing. A couple of old horse-drawn carts. There goes a Farmall McCormick. That's a Kent farm wagon, and this is a reenactment of a hop garden. So here we see, going from left to right shall we say, is a Fordson Major, a Ferguson TEF 20 I think, a Fordson Major diesel in blue, and furthest on the right is a David Brown Cropmaster. Have a look around here. Right, I'm going to go over to the tractors now and work my way up the tractors, and first we see if I don't trip over my own feet, there is a Massey Ferguson 148. Next to that's a 35. There's a Ferguson, I think a TEF 20, could even be not a 35, it would have evolved into it, but here's a 35 in yellow. Another Massey Ferguson 20 by the looks of things. Here's a Massey Ferguson 1200, weird looking thing, but each one would have done a purpose on a farm. So here's a Massey Harris 744D. As we work our way along, we now see a couple of other Massey Harrises, including one with the shortened front axle. There's a 30. There's a Massey Harris Pony. There's a Ford. It says it's a Ford. I think it has a Ferguson system on it. So it's a Ferguson Ford, basically. They had a massive falling out, them two companies. Massey Ferguson 130. There's a 175 multi-power. Over there's a 35 going past the military vehicles. But if I go up here, because now we see a Fordson Major, looks like a four-wheel drive one. There's a Massey Ferguson 135 again. There's a lot of them in the area. There's a Fordson Major, quite an early one. And this is a Landini. Just put my keychain away. So this is a Landini Velite, or Velite. Sounds a bit French actually. We go down here now. What the? I don't know what that tracked vehicle is actually. What is that? I don't know what that is though. What is this? Let's see if I can get a clue. Not sure what this is actually, I might have to ask. What is that? I haven't got any more than that? Oh right, I know it's a tractor, I know it's tracked, but I didn't know which brand it was because I couldn't find the the model. Yeah, let's have a look.
this way. This way.
This way.
See?
Made by International Harvester, Chicago, Illinois.
That's it. In fact, it wasn't made. I think from what I gather, this was actually made in California or somewhere like that. But it was done by the Canadian Army.
Okay.
They used to use it to do runways during the war. So,
Yeah. Because I can recognise a Ferguson any day of the week. I can recognise Nuffields or anything like that. Because they got a sort of paint code.
yeah.
Except that one, because that looks like a wartime model because it's green. Model N, I think that is.
It's a special, yes. I think that's the one that's got the.
Yeah, because that had the wartime paint job on it, so it wouldn't get spotted.
Well, yeah.
So they didn't want to get spotted back then.
That's the theory, it's not really the practice. But that there was used for, I think that was used for pulling foam, really.
Oh, right.
Got the hitch in the back. As you can see, it's a Sussex registration as well on an 80.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
And next to that's a Ferguson, which I think's either a TE20 or a TEF20. Could even be a 35. They sort of evolved.
What's that there?
The grey thing.
No, it's DEA.
DEA.
I think it's a petrol paraffin.
Ah, right.
If you look in there, you can tell. I'll show you how to tell.
Yeah, because I've seen TE20s, TEF20s.
TEA, TEF. There's a whole series one. But if you look there, see the fuel?
Yeah.
It's got two taps on it. So it's got two tanks. So
start it on petrol and then you fire it up on the paraffin afterwards. Well, they called it TVO, but
no, not necessarily. TVO is different than paraffin.
Yeah, because I actually asked where can you get TVO these days, and they said, well, it's similar to paraffin, isn't it? And I was like,
no, it's not.
Nah.
We have a license. We can give you a license if you want to brew it yourself. One of our members, as a club, we own the license. But if you want to have it, we can give you a written piece of paper that says you can go in and get your Caro and you can get your petrol to make TVO.
And and that's what goes together.
Yes. So if you take one of our membership forms.
Yeah. I haven't got a tractor, but.
Oh no. Well, no point if you haven't got a tractor.
No, but I always thought it was either similar to paraffin or it's some sort of product on its own back then, because that was before diesel.
And in fact, you can buy it made.
Now we come across a couple of Nuffields.
Yeah.
I noticed it's got. I like the sticker on it. Charity Tractor Run, Westfield Christmas Lights. I keep missing that event. I never seem to get round to watching.
That's East Sussex. I don't know. I live as far as you can go that away, West Sussex.
Yeah, I went to West Sussex the other week actually. I was down at Parham Park.
I live there.
Yeah, because Parham Park's the one that they got the steam rally there. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah, it was a good rally. We had a big tractor stand run by the FOFH.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yes, that's part of the world.
Because I think
there is a big Christmas do that the young farmers are organising in Arundel tractor run.
Oh, right.
With all decorated and all that sort of shit.
All right. Cheers for your time, by the way. Thank you for your time. Alright, so there's a couple of Nuffields here. There's a Fordson Major Diesel. Fordsons are pretty cool, but if you ask my dad, he probably prefers Massey Fergusons. Don't know what this one is. Let's have a little look. That is, yeah, let's see if I can locate it. What is this? Looks like a, doesn't really have a symbol on it, so it must be on this side. BMC tractor model. Ah, this is another Nuffield, really small Nuffield as well. But if we go around here, I'm going to have a look at this. There's a Ford Model T over there. There's a Unimog. Unimogs have got big ability. Right, if we go over here now, I'm going to take a look at this John Deere. Well, if we go over here, we're going to have a look at this John Deere first. It's a 3130. You can always recognise a John Deere because it's always green and yellow. And then we go to its left, we now see a Case International 956XL. Next to that's a Fordson Major, and there's a Ford County with some sort of grabbing arm or something. We move along now, we got a Ford County 4600-4. And if we look along here, we got Fordson Major, another Ferguson TE, not TF, TE, no, looks like could be a 35, I don't know. Not sure. I have to. There's another Ferguson alongside a Massey Ferguson 35. Actually, I notice TF20 on TEAs and stuff like that. TE series, I think, sort of evolved into the 35. Tractors and evolution. So in between two Fergusons is a Fordson Dexter by the looks of things. Yeah, it's a Fordson Dexter. Coming along now is a International Harvester F137D. Another couple of tractors coming up here. There's a rather large looking beastie there. What is that one? Yeah, so that is, by looks of things, a Case 300 with the shortened front axle. International Harvester B275. Just looking for space, and there's a wasp looking for trouble. That's the only trouble with wasps. Don't even know what use of wasp is actually, but right, continuing onwards, we see a Massey Ferguson 135 with the front weights on it, so whenever it's planned it feels weighed down, it just doesn't get weighed down because it counteracts it. That's a 956 XL, not a Quickie 650, so it must be a Case, I think. David Brown 990. Next to that's another Ferguson. Here we also see a David Brown Selectomatic 880. Here's a John Deere 1120. Next to that is a Massey Ferguson 135. Here's a Bristol 25. I think I've seen this one before actually. I haven't. Here's a couple of Nuffield Universal. Oh, there's one's a 1060, the other one's a Nuffield Universal. And this one's got the BMC diesel. This David Brown 25D. Also we see a couple of Massey Fergusons. I think they're TE series again. I can never remember which is which. Here's a Fordson Major. Someone's lost half the badge too. Here's a International 1255 XL alongside a 1055 and a Case International 7130. The reason I've done the tractors first is because, well, we're at a rural We're at Rural Pastimes, so it's a country show. You got to have a tractor or two, or an absolute shed load. So there's an old Land Rover and a beer. Looks like a Nuffield. BM Perkins diesel this time. If we look up here, there's a John Deere, there's a Defender, there's also a Alice Chalmers. Here's a B275 International. Fordson Model N, known as the Special because it's got a green paint job, so that in theory you weren't supposed to be spotted by enemy aircraft, because yeah, whether it worked or not I do not know, as a camouflage. Fordson Major, really quite early one. There's a Ford 5000 alongside a Farmall, just says M I think, just says Farmall. Next to that is a Leyland of some kind. It's a Nuffield 344 actually, in blue, I do not know why. There's the Case 300 again and B275, I've already seen these.
Also known as the motoring safer. Also known
there.
as the only clean t-shirt I have.
F137D International. Right. If I continue onwards, bet they don't realise I'm speaking into the camera. Fordson Dexter. There's a Fordson Power Major. Go Power Major. Sorry. Just trying to think what the difference was between a Fordson Major, a Power Major, and what was the other one? Another Major. Here's a Leyland 384, British Leyland product. Here's a John Deere, just says D. Which one I do not know what this one is, but here's a Ferguson, what's that one? That's a Ferguson 30 actually. Never seen one before, but now I have. And there's another Ferguson. Looks a bit of hot rod actually, this one.
I've missed tractors of you.
Right, here we come across a small Ford sort of digging thing, shovel thing. It's a 1210 actually. There's one I've never seen. Have I seen this one before? B152. Let's have a quick look at this one. There must be, it's an International Harvester R250. Look at that, that is nice. Here's a Ransom's tracked. I don't know what that's. That must be for Market Gardens, I suppose. But here's a Massey Ferguson 152 Mark III, and let's have a look at the sticker. Ah, yes. EO Culverwell. It's Culverwell's. EO Culverwell's. They're still going actually. Here's a Massey Ferguson 590. Sitting next to a Ford 4610. Here's a Fordson Major sitting beside a Leyland. Very grungy looking Leyland actually. Here's a Zetor 7245. Actually, who makes, where are these from? Where are these Zetors from? Right, if we just come around here to this Ferguson with the roll hoops. The roll hoop on it. I think it's a roll hoop.
Roll cage.
Cage. Yeah, it just looks like a hoop, because a roll cage would have bit coming out and onto the bodywork itself, wouldn't it? I'm thinking in drag racing terms here. I did Santa Pod this year. I think I want
that, isn't it?
it's the biggest amount of fun without getting completely sloshed.
yeah, absolutely. Noisy.
Yeah. Especially when the jets go past.
Yeah.
I didn't bother with earplugs and I think my ears were ringing all day. Here's a Ford 4110. 1986. It's a forklift, so it could be used. Well, it's not really a telly hoist, it's just used for lifting things. Here's a Ford, very patriotic. Just keep that going. This is a Muir Hill 121 MH121, next to a Ploughmaster 75 by, well, if the paint code is to be believed, it looks like a Ford. There's a Massey Ferguson 35, again with a roll. It says it's a roll cage, but I always thought it's just a hoop. There's another 35 next to it, Massey Ferguson. Here we see what is called an Ola. It's a three-wheeler. No, it's an Ola. No, it's an Ota. Is it Ota? Never heard of them. Here's a Ford 8600. Is this good or what? Ooh, just back a bit. Yeah, that's the ticket. Right, so now there's a Ford 6600, and it's pulling one of the wagons today. This looks like a Ferguson again, and it says it's a roll cage, but here's a Ford 5600. I'm going to try and go around the front of this. That's a 4-cylinder diesel by the looks of things. Right, if we go next door to here, we see, what is this? It's a Renault. It's a Renault tractor. Nice. Very French. Even slightly streamlined as well. Right, I'm going to go to the last two tractors, and then I'm going to try and separate the videos out, just because I don't really want to be mucking around with things. This is a Fordson Major Diesel, and to cap off the tractors for now is a Massey Ferguson 35. Right, I'm just going to cap off for now.